What's up? What's up? Welcome back to Jack of All Trades, a weekly podcast for you to digest where there will always be a special guest. I'm not going to hold you on this Love After Lockup review, so let's go ahead and get right into it.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, girl. Hey, what's going on?
You know what? It was quite a bit going on in this episode.
Quite a bit.
It was quite a bit.
Yes. There was quite a bit going on, but the streets were in an uproar because Monique and Derek were not present. So,
it's okay because my thinking is after that fight, baby, and then we had the recap of the fight the week after that. We need a little break. They've been consistent. I don't think we've gone an episode without seeing them. This is the first time.
Right. Since a full season of Love After Lockup and all the way to this point in Life After Lockup, let's give them a break.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, we're back for another recap of Life After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 45, Blindsided and Divided.
Girl, it was a lot.
It was a lot,
There was a lot going on.
Even without our Beyonce and Jay-Z, there was plenty going on. So,
Girl, who the fuck is B and J? Who are you comparing to them? Boom. Cause baby, let me go on and disagree. Who is B and J? You can't just throw that out there like I wasn't gonna say nothing. What's wrong with you?
Oh my gosh. That's how people were treating them. I mean, they were cutting up. Even on Derek's Instagram.
You talking about Derek and Monique?
Yes. They were posting about all the people that were like, Love After Lockup, what is this? I only tune in for Monique and Derek. And I'm like, so y'all don't know that on this show, every now and again, every couple gets a break. You won't see them every week. So you're going to have to deal. They'll be back and it'll be okay.
Period.
But then people were cutting up. I was like, ciao. So
I get it.
Yes. So anywho, so with the balance of the crew, it gave us time to, get a little bit deeper into all of their mess. So who shall we start with?
Girl, let's see. Let's go. We can either go Blaine and Lindsay or Sarah and Sean.
Let's do Lindsay and Blaine. Yeah, definitely.
Get them on out the way.
Low notes. Yeah.
Low notes for sure.
So back in the sundown town, Corinth, Mississippi,
Period.
Lindsay and Blaine are at home and having casual conversation at first, talking about marriage since Blaine's dad brought it up. And all I could do was roll my eyes because it just felt like them plotting on another Life After Lockup appearance.
Which we can definitely go without.
Right.
And we can go without this sex scene they had. Because that was all to their storyline.
Yes.
Let's be clear.
Yes. I
don't ever want to see it again. Okay, WeTV? It was a potential sex scene. Let's put it like that. I still can go for sure without seeing another.
Well, I'm tired. Yeah, I'm just tired of seeing Lindsay ripping her shirt or dress off and, pulling a man's pants down. For a lot of people, or in many cases, this shit would be shunned and shamed. And I'm tired of giving Lindsay a free pass. Stop coming on this show and attempting to get freaky with a man every season. And then by the time you get his shirt off, now you want to fight. Because sure enough, she strips him down. And, before you know it, she discovers the ankle monitor and freaks out. And it's just like, girl, it'll never be that deep.
Girl, I was frowning the entire time. I caught myself girl, straighten up your face because... what are you about? I'm kind of glad she saw the ankle monitor because it cut that sex scene.
Yes, for sure.
But I don't like agreeing with Lindsay all the time.
Right.
But it's the second week in a row I'm with her. She had a right to be upset.
Yeah.
I hate to say this. I hate agreeing with this bitch. But everybody knew but her it does affect her probation.
Mm-hmm.
She had valid points. She just was dramatic as fuck about it. And I was like, okay, girl.
Right. Exactly. Agreed. And the only thing that she seems to be a little bit misguided on was equating his house arrest to hers. His is not as strict. He just can't leave the state. But she was absolutely right to feel like you made this decision without me. You told other people before me. And it does at least mean she has to check in with her probation officer and provide some sort of update. So you can't just do stuff willy-nilly and think, oh, it doesn't matter because we've already been approved to be together. Although I did think, Lindsay, if your PO said you can live with someone with pending charges, they know that something will eventually happen with those charges. So it shouldn't be too much, for them to change or for them to approve or kind of create, an upgrade, if you will, to your approval. But I still agree. He should have just said something to you so that you didn't find out after all of the decisions were made and it would make it seem like you were trying to hide something from your PO.
Well, yeah. And just because his probation isn't as strict or his house arrest is not as strict doesn't mean that her probation isn't. We don't know,
right.
As far as what it entails about living with somebody that's on house arrest. So, I mean, she was right.
Yeah.
But I see however, comma, you need to make yourself more like approachable.
Yeah.
I see why he didn't tell her, because you act like this and don't nobody want to hear that.
Right.
Or deal with it. So, Miss Mamas, come on now, make yourself more approachable. How about that?
Yeah, you're right. Because there was definitely a moment where when she yelled in his face, like, I got approved to live with, Blaine the civilian, not Blaine the inmate, or however she said it, I would have been like, okay, girl. So when you get rammed into this wall, I'm sorry, we don't condone violence.
But girl, you've been the inmate. Like, don't act like you're exempt, girl.
Right.
This what you do is be an inmate, like over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's the third guy we done seen you with. So
yeah,
be cool, little mama.
Right. And if you're always
you're not innocent.
Yeah, because she's always stressing about what the guy is doing or how they're a part of her life because she always has these charges. So that to me goes back to what I was saying last week. Like, focus on yourself and your daughter, because every time you're in a relationship with a man, if he does one thing and takes one wrong step, left or right, all of a sudden you tripping on him because you worried about how it's affecting your probation. Then go live with your mama and your child then and wait until you get off probation before you get in a relationship with somebody.
That's who she needs to be living with anyway. She needs to be, but see, her mother don't want to. I think her mother don't want to deal with it because, two, you shouldn't be living there if you want to be going back and forth to jail too. So don't bring that in this house. The mother old and she got a teenager in the house, a little you at that. So okay, but yeah, she needs to. Lizzie's caught up in that lifestyle too. Whether it's country, but she just want to be what she is. I don't see, she ain't got a job. Never. This the third guy we see her with. She's never had a job.
Right. She's just,
or even talked about one. Let's be clear, she ain't never even talked about it.
The only job she's talked about is working with Blaine.
Selling drugs.
No, doing the painting. Remember that fake scene where they basically set themselves up to be the next couple during the last Life After Lockup, and her job, quote unquote, was to go and work with Blaine, and she was painting, and she had on she might as well had on some Timberland heel boots because she was. Girl,
shut up. Yeah, I remember. You remember? Shit. Yeah.
So, right, like that's the only work she's talked about, right? This show is her work, and as long as she can find a man to be in a relationship with her and be on the show, she's going to keep showing her ass to give drama, give scene. But ultimately, nobody's trying to deal with that shit. And you can only shake that off so much once the camera stop rolling. And like we keep saying, she's deep into this drug lifestyle. No matter what, Lindsay has been back and forth to jail. She's still on probation. Her life, is so impacted by that. So, she winds up living with people like Blaine and pretending like, oh yeah, I could see marriage with Blaine, but you mad at him to this degree where you're throwing water in his face for not knowing about a house arrest. Like, girl. Please. Anyhow.
Right. I'm over her. That's all I have for her.
Me too.
She's right, on. But whatever. Next caller.
Moving on. Sarah and Sean and Sarah. So,
girl, you want to know how my notes start with them? I got 2 lines of notes with them. Let's be clear. The first line say, "Sean, shut the fuck up." Like, that's all I had. Sean, shut the fuck up.
Child. We open with Sarah testing out her new titty size for her next visit with Anthony. And Sean comes in. And of course, you know, he sees what she could potentially be, and the kids are asleep. So he sees that as an opportunity to get it in for a little bit. And she turns him down, and she says, denied. Okay.
Access denied.
And she said in her confessional that she's been doing that ever since she started allowing Anthony to see Abby. So now she's feeling all guilty and shamed. But in my mind, I'm like, you feel guilty because you want your OG family back.
That's it. That's all.
You over there with your mama.
You can't play with that like that life. You cannot dip it. If you're married, you need to be committed, because that's how, you know, when you allow distractions like that, nothing good. Now your mind is wondering woulda, coulda, shoulda, what if.
Right.
You know, probably sexual fantasy. Sean probably not even turning her on right now. Because she thinking about Anthony, probably the last time they did it, you know, and stuff like that. So
yeah,
she shouldn't have entertained it, but since she did, now here we are.
She said that sex with Anthony was some of the best sex she had in her life.
See, and Sean, you a little old, but hey, y'all was off drugs too. Sex is amazing when you're on drugs. So,
that's true, right? She told us.
It's the sober sex.
Yeah,
we saw that with what's our homegirl out there in Portland?
Branwen.
We saw that with her. Like, so.
And Sarah said it too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she did.
Mm-hmm. So that's very true though, right? So it's 2 completely different realms when it comes to sex experience. And we know that Sean was her safety net coming out of jail. So the impact that he's going to have on her and what he means to her, it's not going to feel the same way that things feel with Anthony. And that's probably what she wishes. She wishes Anthony could be like Sean and be a provider. And, you know, Sean is very anti-drug, anti-alcohol. So he's going to be sober. And at least in that sense, like, he's going to show up. But ultimately, neither one of them is the greatest guy. So, but she is definitely being pulled, you know, on that nostalgia, right? She's with her mom, her first daughter, and her first baby daddy. Like, she is basically in a nostalgic mindset probably every time she's over there with them. And then she come home and she don't want to fuck on Sean, because this is all a result of that not working out. So,
and here come this old dick. Like, you know, it's different, you know. Yeah. So she's like, oh, here come this old structured visionary,
yes,
regular ass Sunday school ass sex, Christian sex. That's what I call it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So yeah, and Sarah, girl, look, it's an old hoe. At work, she say anything and I love it. And she said about this other lady, she was like, she keep going to get a new body to go lay up with some old dick because her husband old. And I feel like that about Sarah.
Yes.
You want to get a new body to go lay up with Sean old ass, right? I get it. Don't get me wrong. She's doing it for herself, and I love that. But Miss Mamas.
That's my thing. I don't feel like she doing it to lay up with Sean. I think
that's not. Yeah,
she had her way, you know. But Sean is now, though, it's starting to hit a little bit harder, all of this rejection and her turning him down, because now he's asking like if it's him, and she's coming off all guilty, like she's a bad liar. She can't look him in the eye. She's like, Sean, don't be ridiculous. No. But she's like, her eyes are practically closed. And I'm like, girl,
that's me.
If you can't look him dead in the eye while you lie, you not proving your point.
That's me. I can't lie for shit. Or I gotta take it all the way down. Like, I gotta cry, scream, snot, still be lying. But like normal conversation, I'm gonna give it up every time. Like, I'm gonna act just like Sarah. You can't look you in your eye, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah. So she's like, okay, I'm going to go outside and smoke a cigarette. Just come with me. Let's talk. So she wants to, confess her sins while she, puffs on a little smoke. And, he's clearly pissed off because that karma is on his ass. Now he's asking her.
Oh, on his ass, baby.
Okay. Asking her all the questions that she had to ask him when their relationship was starting up. So, Sarah could have been more honest up front. I think that would have solved all of these problems. But Sean clearly could have handled this conversation better, because he is starting to go off as she reveals, I'm not cheating. It's not someone else. It's Anthony. He wants to see Abby. I've been allowing her to see Abby over at my mom's house. And, he's starting to trip. And it's like, you should have now he should have never thought that her father would never be a factor. But it sounds like Sarah kind of set things up that way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But now here we go.
Yeah.
And Sean, she dealt with you. You lied about kids to Destiny. Let's be clear. You didn't even tell your kids. I don't even think he told Sarah about his kids, did he?
Not at first. That was how he moved, right? He did that to Destiny and Sarah.
Yeah, both of them. So now you upset about. That's why I said, Sean, shut the fuck up. Like,
right.
Who you talking to?
Because he was big tripping, and he knows that he's had this coming for a long time. So Sarah, she should be 100%, about what she wants and how she wants things to go. But it just sounds like she exaggerated the fact that Anthony wouldn't be around. If the man wasn't in jail,
he hasn't been around. Let's
true.
Be clear.
That's true. He has not. But if he was not in jail, don't tell Sean he's in jail, because a nigga that's not in jail could pop up any day. So, but I get it. He also was in rehab. He hasn't been around. But Sean, you've been a deadbeat dad yourself, and you all of a sudden want to be right back in your kid's life. So why not think Anthony might
video game?
Right.
Let's be clear,
because it's too late, to go to
virtually
the park.
Stupid.
But so Sean, you barely deserve happiness. But
period.
Sarah just could have approached it a little bit better. Because then don't give him the opportunity to act like this. Be like, nope, I kept it so real with you that you either get on board, or
shut the fuck up, Sean.
Yes.
Damn.
That was it for them, child. Who is next?
Good night.
You know who I refuse to leave for last.
Home.
Brittany and Marcellino. We can go ahead.
So who we gonna say for last? Chance and Taylor.
Yeah, we can do them. I have a few more, expanded thoughts around them.
I don't even have many notes for Cam and Eris, but they had a nice little storyline. Walker still. Pooch.
Yeah, yeah. I have a few for them. So, but yeah, okay, Brittany and Marcellino don't really deserve. So let's go ahead and knock them out.
My notes start out with them. Why are we here? That's what my notes say. Why are we here?
Yes. Big Jocelyn meme. Ho, why is you here?
Okay.
So
like it's my B-Day.
I wanna ride. Don't get me started on the cabaret, okay?
Yeah.
But okay, we open up with Brittany. So she's 5 years out. Congratulations to Brittany for that. Kudos. Want to give her that. They have moved to the Central Florida sticks of St. Cloud. It is Kissimme's cousin. And so they are, south of Disney World, but before you would get to Tampa, kind of that Polk County almost kind of area.
Shout out to Polk County.
Shout out.
I was now thinking about Polk County, baby.
Uh-oh.
Send me back to my college days.
Oh my gosh. So we get this stage scene of them doing some yoga, and I couldn't help but notice that our little fave Giovanni looked kind of sad.
The entire episode.
Yeah.
And it was not addressed. Let's be clear. I didn't like that.
I didn't like that either because, again, you've been out for 5 years. So, Brittany, we've been seeing you at least part of every year for the past 5 years. And Giovanni was always this super lively, kid full of energy, like all of that. And it just seemed like that poor baby was just worn out. Like, girl, we doing this
y'all
again.
Dragging me across the stage with these cameras. Here we go. Yeah.
So, I felt for him in that moment, but, we get this set up that Brittany has basically forgiven Marcellino, but she still ain't feeling like, the fire and desire is back. So that's where they are in their relationship, and they're trying to get this fresh start going in Florida.
Well, here's the thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, let me start with something nice. Okay. Are they living in an Airbnb? Because if not, Brittany always has that house decorated so nicely. I'm always look for the decor. But it's always a nice kept, nicely decorated house every time.
They are one couple that I don't think is in the Airbnbs. And I guess I only don't think that because Brittany got out and got like her real estate license. Brittany has been somebody that has typically, gotten after some work. And I think that has, afforded her the opportunity to like, at least, even if they didn't buy the house, right? They rented it, it's so they can go in and they can really make it feel like home versus the folks that are in the Airbnbs, like, Justine and can't put none on the walls or whatever,
Right.
So, yeah. The home definitely looked good, right? It doesn't, right? You see sometimes these folks move and it just looks like a total downgrade, and it never looks like that for them. Yeah.
Okay. So, and let's be clear, Brittany she's not only a life after lockup, love after lockup OG. She's an OG, period.
Right.
So she was the first one to show us that these women that get out of prison, they need a man that's more than them and that's willing to help them. They need help, especially these old hoes. Let's be clear, okay? But the young girls too, So I feel like if she didn't have Marcellino, though, she would be struggling big time.
Yes.
Same as Puppy and Amber. Okay, we're gonna get to them.
Mm-hmm.
But you moved. And another little small thing. See, I got a lot for Miss Brittany, honey. You don't work. You had these kids in Florida. He used to gamble for a living, so now y'all just trying to get acclimated. But you want to yoga, want to get your lashes done.
I think Brittany does real estate.
I don't know. I guess because we only saw that for like an episode or two.
Right.
I don't know. She always got something different going on too every season. So
yeah, I think I guess I would hope that she would fall back on that. But you're right though. That's not something that just transfers from state to state. So she might not be working right now because she has to get certified and get board approved or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
License. Okay. Well, my single ass be complaining. I be feel like, I want to get my lashes done, but I gotta be like, she out here doing all that. So I'm like, okay, girl. But anyway, so you move him, he cheats. Okay, boom, with your friend. You say you're not finna be in the same state as this bitch, so I'm finna move you all the way across the country. We leaving. We dipset. Okay, cool. But now y'all still not. It still ain't working. Like,
yeah,
you still don't feel that, like you said, fire and desire. So you did all that and shit. Y'all still never fixed it before y'all left the state of Nevada. So the problems just wasn't gonna stay there.
And that's where I think their storyline was so contrived, because one minute it's let's have a threesome, the next minute it's oh my gosh, you're cheating on me. To me, it was just basically
with
like
the girl we had a threesome with.
Right. So I'm like, listen, if it was time to leave Vegas, just say that. But y'all couldn't wrap that up in a pretty bow for Life After Lockup to, you know, keep their interest. So now you have all this drama, quote unquote, that has followed you from Vegas to Florida, and I'm supposed to feel bad for you or like, you know, be over here rooting for you when I know that you contributed to a lot of the bullshit that you are going through right now.
So now y'all still out there going through it because y'all haven't dealt with it. Now it's, oh, let's have a date night. Oh, talk to me, Mars. What is it that you want to say to me? Mars like, he's not happy.
Right. He don't want to be there.
And he does not want to be there. But see, Marcellino, you should have stood on that. Like, you fucked up, so you was trying to appease her because you fucked up.
Right.
And now you're not happy, which means the marriage is, you know, like, what's up? And he kind of said it like, we got kids. Right. She was like, okay, when we don't have these kids, you still got to deal with me. I'm your wife. So what's up?
And I'm like, girl, y'all got 10 years to figure that out. Like, I don't know. Like, I get that. I really do get that.
I don't know, because we're not going to waste each other's time. That's how people be miserable, because they've been unhappy in a marriage for 20 years.
Yeah, that's true.
But the kids move out, they get a divorce. Now you out here looking stupid and single.
Right, right. But again, that's where I'm just like, I can't buy into this storyline, because we didn't even see Marcellino like lingering in Vegas and waiting to move to Florida. We just wake up and y'all have all relocated, but the passion just isn't there. I just have a hard time with this. Like you said, Brittany's not working. And y'all basically have just been on the WeTV payroll, and that afforded y'all an opportunity to move. And they said, okay, when y'all get settled, let's get the cameras back rolling. And this is what you're giving us. And I just have a hard time believing any of it.
I agree with that.
You know, the only thing I do believe is that Marcellino hates being in Florida, because it is, you know, slow. It's not Vegas. We see him, you know, hanging out next to an 80-year-old at the bar. That's Florida for your ass.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing too, like, he was a professional gambler, you know, out there. There's no casinos like that. Like, he's out of his element, out of his zone. But once again, y'all didn't talk about that before y'all left. Like, what am I going to do down there? Or in any state that's not Vegas, you know, Nevada. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I ain't feeling it.
Yeah, I don't know. But I feel like it's hard for me to feel like bought in on their drama, because again, even him not wanting to be in Florida, like, his mom is there. He said she came 3.5 hours. So basically she's in Miami, you know, if you know Florida, you know that distance, and they're Puerto Rican, right? So it's like, she's in Miami. So it's like, your mom is there, Brittany's there, the kids are there. I just have a hard time believing that, you know, when the cameras are not rolling, that y'all aren't just figuring things out. And also, I wasn't really here for just seeing them start this little squabble in the bar and wind up drunk on the curb.
In the bar and grill.
You know?
Right, damn. Y'all should have went somewhere to talk. Y'all wasn't ready for full-on date night yet.
No.
Something fun. Y'all should have, okay, let's go somewhere and be by ourselves, because y'all haven't, you know, y'all got kids.
Right.
And let's talk about how big these kids are getting. I feel old.
Yes.
I remember when she had Zoila on TV.
Yes.
Now she's 4. I'm like, damn.
Right.
But, you know, they should have went somewhere to talk. Like, a private, intimate, you know, kind of setting, not a bar and grill where we drinking alcohol with our emotions all over the place.
Yes, right. Take it to the lake. Take it to, you know, dinner on the patio, something that's a little bit more paced. because, right, you could tell she was not just her. They were both really getting into being in the bar. And, you know, again, they're down in St. Cloud in this little seedy ass bar. There's cameras in there. So everybody's probably, you know, making sure they're having a good time for the sake of the film. But what y'all really needed to be doing was sitting there and having a really stable, you know, semi-sober conversation about what it is that y'all want to do, because it spiraled into this, you know, well, I don't really want to be here and I'm here because of you, and well, you should have come of your own free will and all that other stuff.
She has a point. Do you want to be here with me? She wants attention and he's not giving it to her. She wants reassurance. He is not giving that to her. Like, yeah, you're saying, okay, we got kids so you could be a good father, but I need you as a husband.
Yeah.
And that's what she's crying. That's the help that she's crying out for, that he's just like, whatever. And he was whatever about it in Vegas. Let's be clear.
Exactly.
So Brittany Marcellino would have to take that muchacho ass attitude the fuck. Like, I couldn't deal with that. I could not. Because honestly, I've always commended her on being such a good communicator.
Oh my God.
What?
He said that muchacho ass attitude.
He's always had the attitude.
Oh my God.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't
You're
like
right,
it.
though.
But
you are 100% right.
He's showing you, Brittany, but she is trying to fix it. But he's kind of showing he don't want to fix it. But he is trying, and that's what he said. I think him moving out there is like, I really don't want to do this, but if it make her happy, he said he needs some therapy.
Yes.
It's something to him that was before Brittany. He's always had this dictatorship. I run it. You know, he's always been arrogant. Put it like that. So, he should definitely, I mean, they should probably go through some couples counseling together, get some individual sessions in. And and I think they both acknowledge that this is a new start, and it is hard sometimes to navigate a new start when you don't, you know, move and everybody has a new job and everybody's very clear on their role, and it's all like these happy elements to it. It truly did feel like they had to like escape a toxic environment. So they need to reset and sit down, talk to somebody together and individually to figure out how they're going to, you know, forge ahead. So. And isn't he older than her? Marcellino's older, right?
Yeah, they're another couple with that like 11-ish year gap.
Yeah, so guess what? These old niggas, just like Sarah and Sean, these old niggas do not have the attention to give that these younger wives require. So yeah, something to think about.
Yeah, so I mean, again, we gave y'all much more than you deserved, but hopefully this isn't what y'all are giving us every week until the end of the season, because I really don't care that much. Because again, I think when the cameras shut down, once this season ends, we're going to see all of these reels of the great times they've been having in Florida. I mean, they live down the street from Disney. They live, you know, 3.5 hours from grandma, who probably lives within minutes of a beach in South Florida. There's still casinos in Florida, so Marcellino can still get to a gambling table if he really wants to. And then they still have WeTV money. So I'm not bought into any of this fake ass drama y'all keep giving us to stay on TV. Just live your good life, you know, and leave us out of it.
Them, friend. I never heard you read down like that, friend.
I'm just saying, it's so annoying. Like, you know, all these good things and y'all are like creating drama, you know, it's annoying.
Super.
Anywho. All right, let's see. Eris and Cameron.
Yeah, let's get to them. Ooh.
Eris and OG Cam. Okay.
Girl.
So
Cam is camming, okay?
He was camming. Cameron was OG Cam this episode.
Oh yeah.
100%. So let me take a couple deep breaths, because feel like I have harsh words for Eris and I be trying to be nice, but every time. So Eris picks up Lena, and you know, they're going into the house. The bushes are high and the AC is still broken.
I'm not walking into no hot ass house ever. I work too hard. Not if I work every day.
Right.
I'm not walking in no hot ass house.
And you know what? It's funny you say that because we start to get this sense that Eris, while working hard herself, still needs help. She says it multiple times this episode, but she kind of emphasizes it.
I need some help too. I'm tired of being the independent, strong black woman too.
Oh, right.
And she got a kid.
Yes, child.
I couldn't imagine. Girl, good night. Me too.
Girl. And so she emphasizes in her confessionals, right, that Cam's around now and he needs to get a job. And so she believes that he leaves the house that day looking for work, but Cam instead said, I've still got some money. I booked studio time instead. Ooh, so
I wouldn't give a damn. Are you helping? Thank you. Happy studio time.
So I guess my only thing is like, if you had money for studio time, like, did you pay for the AC and y'all just waiting on it to, you know, kick in? Or
because he told her that he had the money. He said he could pay for it.
Right.
I thought he got it fixed.
Right.
Because I would have took him up on that offer because I'm not sitting in no hot ass house. I don't give a fuck where that money came from. Give it here.
Right. What I am not feeling is that I understand this is all probably happening very quickly. You know, there isn't much lapse from day to day in the filming. But how do we go from Lena not being with you to pick up Cam when the season opens up to you going and having dinner on the beach and then y'all have some alone time and then another day on the beach with Lena and Priscilla, and now Lena is coming into your house, and because you are not hearing from Cam, right, because he's at the studio not picking up his phone, now you're sending Lena right back to Priscilla. Like, what is that about?
Shuffling her baby all over the place so she can run up behind him just like she did when she went up there to get him.
Yes.
Like, Eris, you got me looking at you real sideways and real funny, and I like you. So right. Let's focus on the main thing here.
Right. I wasn't feeling that per usual. It just felt like the girl couldn't put her bag down good before Eris was telling her to pack another bag because she got to go. And it's literally just so that she can worry about Cam, like, and try and, you know, track him down. I would have let that man come home. Right. Right. I would have let him come home to a locked door while me and my child was in the house enjoying ourselves, and you going to have to knock. And then when you come in, you know, hopefully you got your bearings about you and we can talk about stuff later. You know, everything is not an emergency. And that's what I didn't like. It's like, as soon as she didn't hear from Cam for a few hours, it was like she went into emergency mode. And it's like, no, like, let that nigga fuck up a couple times and then keep track and then present him, you know, with all of his 3 strikes. But immediately it's like, pack a bag. You're going to Priscilla again.
Because I got to deal with this nigga now.
Right. Like, girl. Because meanwhile, this nigga's in the studio having the time of his life. His raps sound exactly like the way he lives.
A good old funky time, okay?
He's like,
my
life is like a movie and I do all the stunts. I was like, come on.
Girl,
OG Cam was,
you know, I was sitting there looking like, okay, Cam.
Oh my god,
that's what I expect from OG Cam.
Girl, I mean, but he was enjoying himself and he wasn't picking up the phone. I mean, Eris is blowing him up. He's not picking up, but he did seem to also acknowledge, like, let me get this done so I can get out of here. So, you know,
and I don't know. I just guess her expectations are kind of, to me, a little high for right now. Like that blowing up his phone shit. See, that's that jail shit. You knew where he was prior. You know what I'm saying? Back then when y'all was just talking on the phone.
Right.
And now he got the freedom to move about and you want to blow his phone up.
Yep. See that with everybody.
You shouldn't. Then why did you marry him? But you went and married him. If you had these types of doubts and reservations and you feel like you got to act like this, why did you marry him?
Right. And she said it. She said, I knew life with Cam would be a little bit chaotic. And that's exactly what I have. Like, why would you put your life with your child on pause to try and immediately incorporate him into your life? And clearly you're not balancing the two. It's like you still are treating it as if it's one or the other. Either Lena can be around because everything is perfect, or Lena can't be around because I'm still figuring things out with this man. At what point do you think that Lena is not going to be cool with that, right? At what point do you not realize that affects her?
That's not okay either.
Yeah.
I don't like the way she moved. Like this with Cam, it's like it's no balance between Lena and Cam, and it shouldn't even be. This shouldn't even be a discussion.
Right. Exactly. So Cam, though, again, he felt like his studio session went well. He's like, "Yep, that's good. Wrap it up. That song's ready." So he's practically skipping back to the house. Okay, he wants to go in and let Eris hear this new song, and they're just gonna have a good evening. So when he gets there, the door's wide open. He walks right in.
But like, why you didn't call when you left the studio? You could have called her like, "I'm on my way, baby." You could have diffused that.
Exactly, right? That's where he was making silly mistakes like that. You're right. That was the perfect time for you to call me like, "Hey, I know I haven't been picking up." But that's where I also feel like he knew he was full of shit, because he told Eris that he was leaving that day to go find some work, and he didn't do that. So,
well, you were supposed to keep up the lie, or you were supposed to keep it going, and you didn't. So here we are. You in trouble.
Right. Because he walked through that door and she's immediately like, "Where the fuck you been?" Okay. And she's not happy. And of course, now he's getting defensive because he was not expecting for her to be so upset when he came into the house. And
how did you think? But okay.
Right.
How did you not? But niggas. Okay.
Right. And because y'all have kind of been through this at this point. Like, this isn't the first little squabble y'all have had, because you have not come back when you said you would. You didn't do what you said you were going to do while you were away. You know, this is becoming a habit. And even a little bit, she's like, "I smell liquor on your breath." You know, and he's like, "I took a shot. You know, you've been drinking too." But she's basically been at home worried about your ass.
Well, here's the thing, too. Niggas like Cam showed you how he moving. He is not used to nobody questioning him. He is used to being the breadwinner, and he knows he's the breadwinner in this situation. First of all, Eris, you brought him home to a fucking broke air conditioner. You talking about you need some help, which you do, and you're not wrong. But girl, he know look. You gonna have to get in line. When he was locked up, didn't she say she didn't have to send him no money while he was in jail? Do I remember that, or did I make that up?
No, because she was the one sending 401k money.
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
You know, Eris, I tried, baby. You know, I don't play about that pension and retirement stuff. You know, I don't play about that.
Okay.
Ooh.
You know, she wasn't sending some PPP loan money like, you know, they said Monique was doing, but
I'd rather you send that than going into your 401k though, okay?
Right.
Who's the real dummy? Right. But so Derek knows he's the breadwinner and he's going to conduct himself as such. He has made it clear. I'm sorry. We was talking about Monique. See? Cam. He is the breadwinner. You know what's up. But yeah, he the breadwinner. He know it, but that's our fault. Like, y'all gonna have to come to an understanding, because then when she always address him about it, he's like very nonchalant. Like, "Okay, and you're saying what?" Like he is unbothered.
Yeah. So, you know, all of that rah-rah that she's keeping up, he doesn't like it, because he feels like everything will be fine. And so, of course, she's like,
and it will, because he got the money for it.
Right.
He like, "What you need? I got it." Yeah. Next.
Yeah. But she's still so hung up on the idea of where the money has come from. And again, I think that
let that go.
Right? It goes back to what you said. Like, if you're going to be dating,
there you go.
Right? These guys out of prison, you're going to have to, I won't say just deal with anything, right? I mean, hey, if you don't want to touch blood money, drug money, I understand that. But get all of this stuff squared away before you get married. because
and before he moves in, and before y'all say, yeah, this is what it is, like, don't act like it's a problem now. You signed up for this. As a matter of fact, you approached him by looking at his YouTube videos. So this is the type of stuff he raps about. This is who Cam is, and this is the type of dude you fell in love with. Now you want him to come home and be different?
Right.
Make it make sense, beloved. It does not.
Exactly. So she kicks him out of the room, kicks the camera crew out of the room, and he goes back downstairs and takes a shot and breaks the TJ Maxx picture, you know, of family that they have hanging up on the wall. So
girl, on the live, laugh, love.
Right. That's where we leave with them. And yeah, I just feel like they've got these growing pains going on. You know, we know when the real life and the, you know, the moment, living in the moment and what we see in real time shows that they're fine. But I think just another example of, hey, do your due diligence when getting with somebody, especially someone out of prison, and don't be in such a hurry to move them into your home, especially if you got a kid, right? A
daughter. Like, let's, just like Justine and Michael, like, stop. Just like, quit the shit.
Right. And I mean, for me, it don't matter, daughter or son, because Justine, I'm more upset about her doing all this bullshit and not dealing with Santana, but they weren't even on this episode, so I'm not gonna go off on her today. But you know what? That's why, as I, you know, get a little flustered and stumble over my words, it was funny when Cam was like, she wasn't saying nothing when we was watching the sunrise on the beach. I mean, the sunset. I'm sorry. I'm just so flustered.
I love him. I'm sorry, I'm just so flustered. But yeah, like you enjoyed your date, you know. You didn't ask, but she kind of did ask where the money came from, but you went on the date. Right. You go on these that you gotta drive to the dates, but whatever.
Right. No, she participates, right? I mean, because my thing is this, like he said, his mind, he just got to Florida. It's only been a few days. My thing is, Eris, instead of saying, okay, well, you've only been here 3 days. Like, if you were so adamant about him getting a job, then yeah, maybe it shouldn't have been all about these dates and this whining and dining. But I guess at the end of the day, she was still asking about where the money was coming from then. I mean, the man stepped off the plane and she was checking suitcases for pounds. It's just like, again, that's what I said. I don't want every time y'all talk to be about whether or not Cam is still in the streets, where Cam's money is coming from, is Cam behaving.
And him and these confessionals dry snitching on himself, him and Michael. Like, if y'all don't shut up.
Yeah. So, you know, that's where I'm like, I see the potential for y'all to just keep being a great, fun couple, but please, like, all of these little fights, this is going to get old and tired. So hopefully this doesn't last long.
Okay.
So let's see. Okay, so we've got Puppy and Eric up next.
Because it wasn't really okay.
Well, I don't know why I have a lot of notes. Maybe I was detailed in what I was watching, but so we pick back up with them back at Puppy's mom's house. Like, basically, we're picking up where we left off at Puppy's mom's house. Eric went into the bathroom and Puppy is telling her mom about, you know, what's been going on. And so Eric comes out and tells Puppy that it's time to go. Pretty much demands they leave, like, you know, come on, we're going to turn into pumpkins
right now.
And, you know, mom says in her confessional that she's not seeing it for Eric anymore. She thought he would be a good guy, you know, at one point, but she's not feeling that way anymore. So, you know, she tells Puppy that she's always there for her. And so they go ahead and leave. And, you know, now we're getting the dash cam, you know, in the car. And Eric looks high as giraffe pussy. Okay. I don't know who knows what he took in that bathroom, but he clearly used something and said, okay, let's leave before I'm slumped. So, okay.
So I get home to my wife. How about that?
Okay. So, Eric accuses Puppy of talking about him with her mom. And she's like, listen, we wasn't talking about nothing that she didn't already know. and he says that she doesn't respect him, and she rightfully says, I give you more respect than you deserve. And he's basically trying to make it seem like Puppy is causing him to look bad, and is she's driving this narrative that he's embarrassing her, but it's not true. And it's like, sir, we can see you. Like, she doesn't have to say anything to to try to mess with your character.
He probably feels like, well, you participating in it too. It's not like I'm making you do something against your will.
Right.
But I'm getting, but he is terrible. He gave abusive vibes too. I didn't like it.
Yes, because as the conversation escalated, he rips off his microphone, and it looks like he was gonna even, kind of strike at Puppy, and she pulls over and she's like, I'm not doing this anymore. And, but in the moment though, our girl finally get a little slick, because she pumps fake, like, I'm gonna get somebody to come get me. And she opens up the door, and he opens his door and gets out a little too quick, because
she tricked him.
Yes. She slammed that door back, slammed on that gas, and closed the other door. And you can even tell, like, as she leaves him standing on the road, that he would have thrown something if he had it. Like, he was real mad. He went from high as hell, to ready to fight. So good for her for getting away from the bullshit. And
pick yourself up.
Right. So she gets some of her stuff. She gets back to her mom's house. And she tells Amber to meet her over there at her mom's house. And what did she say? Amber gets over there and says that she says something that I thought Puppy should have understood in terms of how she packed.
Oh, she said impromptu.
Yes.
Impromptu something.
Yeah. Puppy's like, what does that mean?
And she's like, what that mean?
It's like,
I said, this baby don't know. This is why she out here dealing with shit she ain't supposed to, because she don't know. She needs Amber.
Yes. Yeah.
I can see, like, Amber probably took care of her while they was locked up. I see it.
Yes.
I see it.
Right? I mean, they talked about that early on, and it seems like little by little we see it every time they have another appearance. Like, damn, Puppy really needs help and guidance from Amber and others around her. They talk about how she thought things would be better despite this literally being an affair. I think, again, that's language that we haven't been using. Yeah. But that's what this was. And, Amber keeps it real. Like, he was never not fucking on his wife. So this was an all-out affair. But Puppy is still convinced, right, that when times were good, they were really good. And she talks a lot in the we, like, oh, we used to do things to each other. And, we're not really good for each other. I didn't like that shit either.
Yeah, like, girl, let's call a thing a thing.
Right.
He's terrible.
And but I feel like you said, that's language that he was instilling in her. Like, oh, you do things and you don't take responsibility for it. And so now she said it in her confessionals a couple of times, like, maybe I was basically a contributor to this. And Amber said
No, for every action, it's a reaction. And you was reacting to his fucked up ass actions, period.
Right. And Amber did say it. She said that Puppy's constantly subconsciously making excuses, even though he never left his wife. Like, he's never been in the right. He's never been a stand-up guy. He never really stepped correct to Puppy. So for her to keep creating these excuses like, oh, well, maybe I could have done X, Y, and Z to make the relationship better. Like, girl, the only thing you could have done is force that man to come correct and only talk to him after he officially got a divorce. And
that's it. Because like the whole divorce thing, was that like a hoax? Like, was it just a spin move? Like,
right.
Where did that even come from? You made that up? Because if you was never gonna leave her, then I don't know.
Right.
I think Puppy called him at a time when him and his wife was having problems. They was having ups and downs, which all marital couples do.
Right.
So she was just a temporary little fix, pretty girl. So whatever.
Yep.
He took advantage.
Yep. And so now Puppy's planning to stay at her mom's and get herself completely removed from Eric, but she says that she feels lost. And it's like, damn, I feel like every time there always comes a point in the season rather where Puppy literally says it, like, I feel so lost. And I'm like, kind of like you mentioned with Brittany, you know, without Marcellino, she wouldn't feel as stable. I also feel like without the show, you know, she would not have been as stable for these past 5 years. I feel like the same for Puppy. Like, she's barely holding on, and this show is truly one of the few things that keeps her from going completely off the deep end. And it's sad because it's like, you know, what would you do if Love After Lockup got canceled, right? And you couldn't at least sign up to film your day-to-day with whatever dude you're talking to or with Amber, and despite all the feelings of feeling lost, you still had this show to fall back on. Like, Puppy, I don't know. We got to find something, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Because I wonder how much they get paid. Like,
right,
$2,000 an episode or something, right?
Yeah, I think it would be something like that. And, you know, hey, I get how that can float you. Maybe they get a little bit more for like, I know it's obviously not in syndication per se, but I don't know if they get an X amount per airing, you know, but either way, like, it's not, you know, lifetime money. So what are you going to do? Yeah. What are you going to do to make sure that you're good on your own without anybody else? Because it just feels like she never really got her own footing ever since she got released. So
yeah, I agree.
Puppy girl, figure it out.
Stand up.
Right.
Stand up.
All right.
I think she could be a bartender. Like, she cute. You know, like, I think she could go do that. Go use your face, like some type of brand ambassador for makeup, or she could do a lash line, lashes. You know, like, Puppy, you got potential now. Okay?
Right.
Get it together.
Right. Well, good luck to her again. I feel like that's always the message for her. But all right, moving on to our last and least.
Girl.
Taylor and Chance.
Let me look at my notes because I know I got something stupid said about him.
Well,
first. Oh, I still hate him. The end.
Right.
I knew it. I knew I had something to say. The end.
Oh my gosh. So they're still going back and forth while his shit burns in the backyard.
As it should.
And, you know, we still don't get much from that scene because they literally cut that short and we're immediately into the next day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he woke up talking about, you still mad? I feel like you still fell away. Nigga, what you think?
Right. Like, come on.
Stop fucking playing with me. Chance, stay playing with Taylor. Okay. That's why your stuff burning that.
Right. So they talk about all the messages, and he claims that the girl Jess, or Jessica, is just one of his friends. But the issue is really that he continues to delete the messages that they send back and forth. And
Sneaky.
Right. And he claims that he does it to avoid being quizzed and questioned about who he's talking to and what they're talking about. But if it's truly nothing, you wouldn't feel the need to delete it, you know, every time you turn around. And he doesn't feel like Taylor should go through his phone. And that there's no trust if she feels like she needs to do that. But she's basically letting you know, like, no, that's exactly how I feel. I don't trust you. So I'm going to go through your phone. So she says, don't give me a reason to overreact. But no, I don't trust you. So it's going to be what it is. But she does say she's willing to move on. But he still doesn't feel like things are really resolved. And so he's like, are we good? Come give me a hug. And she's like, nope. And he's like, well, what?
We're not playing that game.
Right. And he's like, well, what am I going to wear to work tomorrow? And she's like, maybe Jessica has some clothes for you.
Period. Since you love us so much. Okay. Since you want to delete those texts, honey.
Right. Child. So this is all within days of Taylor, giving birth. So we get to the day that she will be induced, and they're talking to the girls. Chance, of course, playing too much, tells them, oh, it's going to be twins. Oh, just kidding. But they get gifts for the girls so that they have some toys to play with while they're at the hospital, and the girls are with grandma, I assume.
I thought that was nice.
Yeah, that was nice. But you know what? You know what I hate? Even in that nice moment, Chance in his confessional says, I want the girls to know that I still care about them. And then he's like, I just can't wait to have that little guy in my arms. And he gets emotional, and I just...
Girl, fake,
right,
phony tears.
His tears just feel so disingenuine, and so,
every time.
I hate it, but
I do too.
And then he always says something that even if you did want to get sentimental with him, he always brings you right back down to reality, because the next thing that we see is him telling Taylor that he doesn't really want to have to stay at the hospital. Like, why do I have to stay? And having babies isn't hard. My cousin Tammy worked the whole time.
Girl, every time I think he cannot get no more, like he cannot reach a new low, he takes us lower, child.
So, it's just like he can't.
Says the man who wasn't in his son life. So here we go.
Thank you. I'm like, you just have a lot of nerve with all of this. You honestly should be, just like she said, we made the baby together, so we're going to be there at the hospital to have the baby together. But you know what? Chance is not used to doing things like that, because he's so used to being high and out in these streets while somebody else is laid up having his baby. So, it's almost time to go. The poor one little girl come in the room, and again, these children just look so tired, so very tired. And they're getting everything prepared so that they can go to the grandma's house, and Taylor and Chance can go to the hospital. And then there's a knock at the door, and it's Bobby, Taylor's twin.
Baby, I love Miss Bobby.
Yes. So she has returned for the birth, and she's saying that she drove all the way from Arizona up to Missouri and didn't want to miss the birth, because that's something that Taylor had talked about in the past. Her addiction issues getting in the way of her being present. So, she said that she wanted to make it back. She's also moving back indefinitely. And Chance almost seems to get offended, like this was a secret that was kept from him. But I don't think anybody really knew Chance, so you can relax.
Fucking relax.
I will say though, Bobby was giving off a little high. Chance mentioned that too. Like, I definitely don't want to agree with Chance, but it was just a little awkward. Like, the longer she talked, the more it seemed like, are you tired or are you high? Have you had a long trip? I don't know, but
possibly.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with tired. She big step for her sister. Like, and yes. I don't play about my sister at all. Mm-hmm. I'm on my way. So I love that. And I feel like Taylor needed that.
Yes.
She definitely needed that, because Chance, fuck you. Like, right. And he was shady when she came in, he was like, look what the cat drew again. First of all, baby, if I was Taylor, I would have checked the fuck out of him, because don't play in my sister face, dude.
Right.
Don't fucking play in my sister face. So, I don't know. I'm going to go with she was tired. Yeah. Just because I'm a Bobby fan right now. Because it was just the perfect timing.
Yes, for sure. So, they head to the hospital, and Taylor has a lot of medical history that is of concern. She's lost a baby before, so she really wants to make sure that everything goes according, to plan this time around. Mm-hmm. So they're in the hospital, and she goes pretty deep into labor. She's feeling everything. They've got the epidural in, but it's not really helping her out. And Bobby is there. I believe it's another sister that's there, another family member. And, you know, they're all just kind of sitting around, you know, waiting. But then Bobby gets triggered because of her history with narcotics. And I don't know if it was like a lot of the like IV, you know, entry or what it was. But, you know, it comes to a point where she's like, I'm going to go ahead and leave. I'm going to come back tomorrow. And, you know, she says that she's just very triggered by the environment and that she wanted to be there and she feels like Taylor would understand. But of course, Chance gets mad, probably because he's jealous that he couldn't leave and she left. But he made a slightly valid point. Again, I don't want to agree with Chance, but, you know, he did say, you know, her whole point of being there was to be present for the birth. And I'm like, I kind of get that. But listen, if this girl is in here freaking out because, you know, the hospital beeps and the needles and the medicines and all of that, then
exactly,
just let her get comfortable and she'll be there. She's back. Okay, she's living there, so she'll be there.
And look how happy Taylor was to see her sister. Like, leave her girl. Like, I don't understand. Like, what are you being a hater for? You this mad that she's back? Like, she makes Taylor happy, but I think he wants Taylor all to himself so that he could, with no distraction, so that he could manipulate her.
I think it's that. And I think that he also wants to make sure there's only room for one potential addict in Taylor's life, you know, because if Bobby gets too close and she gets back on drugs heavily, he doesn't want Taylor to feel like any sort of responsibility to her, because that means that if he slips, she's not going to have, you know, the capacity to be dealing with two addicts. And he likes to project, you know, onto Bobby like, oh, I'm clean and I'm doing so much better. And you're still this vulnerable, you know, junkie who relapsed. Like, sir, you're 2 steps away. You already down at the casino betting all your money away. We know what's next. So
exactly.
I don't like the way he's treating Bobby. Never did, you know, but she's back now and he's going to have to deal. And he is, you know, not looking good in the previews. So guess who'll be around regardless, Chance, before and after you. So
indeed.
That was all of the couples this week. They did an extended preview. So I feel like we're getting, you know, at least another 4-ish episodes or more. I didn't catch everything, but I do remember seeing Derek allegedly proposing to Monique. And and I did also see Chance saying that just because Taylor has his son, that doesn't mean he has to be in the house.
By Chance.
Why
just like that. It would be by.
Why would you say that? But you know what? He said
he's that type of person.
Yeah, and he said so much similar stuff already. Like, I just can't believe she's willing to put up with this. Chance is the type of person, Taylor, you could pack up and leave tomorrow. What is he going to do? Yeah. You know, he's not going to come looking for you, talking about, oh, I want custody of my son. He just
wouldn't get it.
He wouldn't get it, right?
Get the fuck on.
Yeah. So you can literally like drop him like a bad habit and drop that dead weight and move on, because he won't have the resources to come do anything about it. But
he's not going to want to. He's going to be on to the next.
Exactly.
He would leave her right with that baby like he did his last baby mama. So here we are.
My goodness. Would love to hear her story, because I can only imagine. And even then, don't get me wrong, he can use the excuse of youth, you know, and just not knowing what to do at the time, whatever. But we see that did not stop there. And now you spent all this time in prison, and yet and still you got out and got with another young girl and got her pregnant again, and still don't want to act right. So, you know, this is who you are, Chance. But
yeah, I'm convinced.
So that was them. So I have one very shocking and rather upsetting, particularly for you and myself, Love After Lockup Universe tea. According to the interwebs and published on Starcasm, Love After Lockup, The headline was Andrea's husband, Lamar Jackson, arrested again.
No.
Yes. So I think late Friday night, early Saturday morning, Andrea posted on her Instagram after like 2 years, I am ... a prison wife again. And in the caption, it says, this life is not for the weak. So in the Starcasm article, it says the post was Andrea's first Instagram post in more than 2 years. She responded to a few comments, but unfortunately did not share any additional information. And then it also mentions California jail records indicate that someone with Lamar's name, his first name isn't actually Lamar, apparently. The first name and age was arrested on February 28th. There's a court case for someone of the same name that had a sentencing on February 28th. That case was for a charge of a convicted felon in possession of a firearm. The sentence was 16 months in any state prison, but it cannot be confirmed that this is Lamar officially, but all of the information like name, age, height seem to line up. So yeah, it's
Lamar, we were rooting for you.
How dare you? But yeah, I mean, the article goes on and talks about, Andrea always stressing, how important it was for him to be around people that would not put him back in jail. And quite frankly, it's been a long time, at this point. He had a good stretch of just being out and enjoying himself. Yeah. So who knows, what may have happened. And I would assume that this was something that may have been kind of I don't want to say in the works. That's not the right language. But, February 28th was more of a final date to wrap up.
So he's been fighting this case for a while.
Right. So who knows when this all started, when the charge was initially, filed. But, a lot of people were just on Twitter talking about, we don't want to see Brittany and Marcellino bring Andrea and Lamar back. And then she posts this, and I'm like, damn, like you guys were the royalty, like you guys were our example. So it just sucks that it sounds like, something has gone awry, and now he's got to do a little bit of time. 16 months, hopefully everything, after they shuffle out all the time, maybe it'll be less than a year or, right at a year. Maybe this is an opportunity for them to get on a little future rendition of Love During Lockup, because I'm sure there's plenty that we can catch up on with Andrea and the kids while we wait for Lamar to get out and, get their checks back up. But I just hate that, again, it just feels like regardless of what's happening, a lot of these folks are still susceptible to being put back in jail because you can only avoid, old lifestyle, old people, old ways of being, but for so long before they can trip you up again.
Agreed.
So.
Oh man, now I gotta see what's going on with my main man, Lamar.
Right. Free baby Nuck until it's backwards.
Yeah.
So yeah. I was like, oh no. This isn't what we were hoping for. We talked about the riffraff last week that we know they get arrested all the time, John and Michael, but
right.
Lamar, not you. So yes. So that was that, and that is it for this week. Again, sounds like we've got plenty more to come. Monique and Derek will be back for all of you people that only watch the show because of them. For those of us that have been around for a long time, we knew that they'd eventually get a break. So you all can relax. They will be back, and and their foolery will continue. They continue on their road show. Derek got some VVS teeth now. my gosh.
They look good.
They look so good. Whew. Let me stop.
Yeah, they look good. Monique, follow suit.
Right? Monique has braces now. So
very good.
Of course, she doesn't want to show them off. But, you know, hey.
She always, I don't want to.
Right.
Bitch.
Derek, leave me alone, Derek. Whatever.
Right.
But, you know, he keeps looking better. You know, the fresh out glow continues. But I'm going to stop thirsting right now. And,
thank you.
And we'll leave it at that. That's it for this week. We'll be back next week. And until then, you take care.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to another Love After Lockup review. We appreciate y'all. And remember, I'm a jack of all trades, a master of none, not here to be an expert, just here to have fun. Bye, guys.